Good day. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to share my expertise in regional anesthesia. My topic for today, basic truncal blocks. My objectives to discuss the basic truncal blocks of the chest wall and to discuss the basic truncal blocks of the anterior abdominal wall. I have no conflict of interest with this presentation. Ultrasound guided truncal blocks in which local anesthesia is injected in a particular muscle plane. No nerves or plexus needs to be identified, in which the injectate spreads and reaches the intended nerves, achieving analgesia. For the basic truncal blocks of the chest wall, I will discuss PEX1 block, PEX2 block, and the serratus anterior plane block. In PEX1 block, it is an interfascial injection of local anesthesia between the pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor muscle at the level of the third rib, blocking both the medial pectoral and the lateral pectoral nerves. This block is indicated for analgesia for breast surgery. A linear probe is placed in the mid-clavicular line below the clavicle of the third rib. The blue arrow represents needle insertion, showing the pectoralis major muscle, pectoralis minor muscle, thoracoacromial artery, and the third rib. 15 to 20 ml of local anesthesia is deposited between the PEX major and the PEX minor. Another slide showing the PEX1 block. For the PEX2 block, it is a single injection technique. It targets the interfascial plane between the pectoralis minor and the serratus anterior muscle, blocking the intercostal nerves 3 to 6, intercostobrachial nerves, and the long thoracic nerves, then withdrawing the needle, targeting the interfascial plane between the pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor, blocking the medial and the lateral pectoral nerves. This block is indicated for analgesia for insertion of breast expanders and submuscular prosthesis, ports, pacemakers, implantable cardiac defibrillators, anterior thoracotomies, anterior shoulder surgery, mastectomies, breast tumor resection, sentinel lymph node biopsy, and axillary dissection. A linear probe is placed in the mid-clavicular line below the clavicle. The probe is moved inferolaterally to the level of the third rib. The blue arrow represents needle insertion. Again, showing the pectoralis major, pectoralis minor muscle, the serratus anterior muscle, and the third rib. Again, for PEX2 block, using a single injection technique, a needle is inserted targeting the interfascial plane between the pectoralis minor and the pectoralis anterior muscle. 15 to 20 ml of local anesthesia is deposited. The needle is then withdrawn into the interfascial plane between the pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor, and then 15 to 20 ml of local anesthesia is deposited. For the serratus anterior plane block, local anesthesia is injected into the fascial plane, either superficial between the serratus anterior muscle and the latissimus dorsi muscle, or deep between the serratus muscle and the rib. This is performed in the anterior of the posterior axillary lines of second to seventh rib. This block the lateral cutaneous branches of the intercostal nerves T2 and T to T9. This block is indicated for analgesia for breast surgery, rib fractures, thoracoscopy, thoracotomy, and for chronic pains after mastectomy. A linear probe is placed in a sagittal of the mid-axillary line of the fourth rib. The blue arrow represents needle insertion, showing the serratus anterior muscle, latissimus dorsi, and the fourth rib. 15 to 20 ml of local anesthesia is deposited either superficial or deep. For the basic truncal blocks of the anterior abdominal wall, I will discuss the following: the external oblique intercostal plane block, the rectus sheath plane block, the transversus abdominis plane block, the ilioinguinal iliohypogastric plane block, and the quadratus lumborum block. For the external oblique intercostal plane block, local anesthesia is injected in the fascial plane between the external oblique intercostal muscle and the sixth rib. It blocks the lateral and the anterior branches of T6 to T9. T10, sorry, intercostal nerves. This is indicated for analgesia for upper abdominal surgery. The probe is placed sagittal between the anterior and the mid-axillary line at the level of the ribs 6 and 7, and the external oblique muscle is identified. 15 to 20 ml of local anesthesia is deposited between the fascial plane of the external oblique and the external oblique intercostal muscle and the sixth rib. For the rectus sheath plane block, local anesthesia is injected between the rectus abdominis muscle and the posterior rectus sheath. It blocks the anterior cutaneous branches of the intercostal nerves T9, T10, and T11. This block is indicated for analgesia for midline abdominal incision like umbilical hernia repair and periumbilical surgeries. Patient is in a supine position. The linear probe is placed over the rectus abdominis muscle. The blue arrow represents needle insertion, showing the rectus abdominis muscle and the posterior rectus sheath. The needle is inserted in between, and 10 to 15 ml of local anesthesia is deposited. For the transverse abdominis plane block, local anesthesia is deposited between the fascial plane of the transverse abdominis muscle and the internal oblique muscle, blocking intercostal nerves T6 to L1. This block is indicated for analgesia for major abdominal surgery, hernia repairs, and procedures involving abdominal wall and cesarean section. The limitation of the top block is it fails to provide analgesia for visceral pain. The probe is held in a transverse position on the mid-axillary line between the costal margins of the iliac crest. The blue arrow represents needle insertion, showing the three layers of the abdominal muscle, the external oblique muscle, the internal oblique muscle, and the transverse abdominis muscle. 15 to 20 ml of local anesthesia is deposited between the internal oblique and the transverse abdominis muscle. For the ilioinguinal iliohypogastric plane block, local anesthesia is deposited between the plane, the internal oblique muscle, and the transverse abdominis muscle close to the ACs, blocking the ilioinguinal and the iliohypogastric nerve. This block is indicated for analgesia for inguinal hernia repairs in children and also in adults. Patient is in the supine position. A linear probe is held in an oblique angle and moved from the ACs to the umbilicus. The blue arrow represents needle insertion, showing the iliac crest and the three abdominal muscles. 5 to 10 ml of local anesthesia is deposited in the plane between the internal oblique muscle and the transverse abdominis. And lastly, the quadratus lumborum plane block, a fascial plane block performed by injecting local anesthesia in the planes defined by the thoracolumbar fascia around the quadratus lumborum muscle. This block provides analgesia for abdominal and hip surgery. For hip surgery, the transmuscular and the intramuscular QL. It also provides visceral anesthesia for the spread of local anesthesia to the celiac ganglion and or sympathetic tract by the splanchnic nerve. I will focus my discussion with QL1 or lateral QL. It targets in the deep to the transverse aponeurosis of the transverse abdominis muscle, but superficial to the fascia transversalis at the lateral margin of the QL muscle. In doing QL plane block, the patient is in a supine position with a small wedge to lift the trunk. Ultrasound scanning technique is identical for the top block up to the posterior axillary line, showing the transverse aponeurosis as shown by the green circle at the lateral border of the QL muscle. The red line, the anterior thoracolumbar fascia, the yellow line, the middle thoracolumbar fascia, and the dark blue line is the transversalis fascia. In QL plane block, 15 to 20 ml of local anesthesia is injected under the transversus abdomen, aponeurosis, I mean. For the other QL plane block, QL2 or the posterior QL, it targets the posterior fascial plane of the QL muscle deep to the middle layer of the thoracolumbar fascia. And for the QL3 or anterior or transmuscular QL, it targets in front of the QL muscle at the level of attachment of the transverse process of the L4 vertebra and the spread of local anesthesia between the QL muscle and the psoas major muscle. And lastly, for the QL4 or intramuscular QL, local anesthesia is deposited in the QL muscle itself. This is my last slide. Thank you for listening. Good day.